Welcome to Drawing from Nature with Pamela Duffus. Lesson 5, Drawing Flowers. Flowers come in so many beautiful shapes and sizes. Look closely at the petals and the stems and how they work together. How many petals are there? How do they overlap? How are they layered? Answering these questions will help you draw a flower. For this lesson, I'm going to demonstrate drawing a rosebud. Start with the shapes of the petals. I like to start at the center of the rosebud and work my way out. The petals are organic shapes that overlap each other. As you're drawing the natural organic shapes of the flower, look at the negative space that surrounds the flower and all the leaves. This will help you understand where to place those leaves. The spacing of the leaves and the overlapping of certain elements is really important to make the flower look more realistic. To shade and create value on this rosebud, I'm using a 4B pencil. The 4B pencil is a soft pencil that blends together very nicely. If you don't have a 4B pencil, that's okay. You really can create value with any type of pencil. Just build up your layers to create darker values and change your pressure. Press a little bit harder to create a darker value and a little softer to create lighter values. As I move on to shading the stem and the leaves, I'm really looking at the lights and the darks. I notice one side of my stem might be a little bit darker, and the other one might have a little bit of a highlight down the side of it. The leaves, I notice patches of dark areas and light areas with a vein running through it. Sometimes the veins in the leaves appear darker and sometimes they appear lighter, so look really closely at the flower that you're drawing. I also notice on this leaf there's a little spike on the edge, so I'm adding those details in as I'm going. As I'm working on the drawing, I also take my kneaded eraser and I erase out certain areas to create highlights or brighter spots. If I went a little too dark, I'll also remove a little bit of the graphite in those spots as well. Now let's try to draw a black-eyed Susan. Once again, I start with the shape of the flower, and I look very closely at the petals. How big are the petals compared to the center of the flower? How many petals are there? How do they curve away from the center of the flower? All of this information is going to help me make my flower look more realistic. Remember, the stem of the flower comes from the center of the flower, so this can help when you're trying to draw that or put that in. Some of the stem might be covered up by the petals. That's okay. Just imagine where it would go to continue it and get it in the right spot. Once again, look at that negative space. Look at all the space surrounding each petal. Look at the shape of that negative space. That's going to help you figure out how to overlap the petals and how to add each petal in. If you make mistakes, don't worry about it. You can clean them up at the end. I like to wait until I have my drawing done or the sketch done before I take the eraser and start removing parts of it. After you finish drawing the shape of your flower, go ahead and start shading it with a soft pencil. I like the black-eyed Susan because I see lines in each petal. They go along and they follow the shape of each petal. Notice the values of the center of the black-eyed Susan. It's much darker than the petals, and it also has a little pattern of texture. So I'm using a little stippling to create my value and really create that texture around the center. As you're developing the shading of your flower, look at those light and dark values. Where are they? Where do you want to place them? Is there a cast shadow from one petal onto another petal, or from the center onto the flowers? Really look closely, and that's what's going to make your flower look more realistic. Thank you for watching the Drawing from Nature series, Lesson 5, Drawing Flowers. If you'd like to view more videos, visit Pamela Duffus on YouTube.